Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Triple L, and today we are going to be doing some quizzes on the NCAA March Madness ACC Tournament. Of course, the ACC Tournament is going on right now, and of course, you can see I'm a pretty big UNC fan, and we just came off a pretty bad loss to Florida State. Well, I guess I say pretty bad loss. Bad meaning 3 points, but it was kind of a tough game to watch. But just coming off the loss, and I thought with the NCAA tournament coming up so soon, it might be fun to do some quizzes. So we're going to get into a few quizzes today and see if I can ace them. I'll be pretty embarrassed if I don't get the UNC questions right, but who knows? There's some pretty old questions in here, I think. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this first quiz that I got here is just a general ACC tournament quiz. And obviously, all these quizzes are going to be ACC related. We'll go conference by conference. I'm most familiar with the ACC because I am a UNC fan, so I may get exposed a little bit on some of these other conferences. But I'll link this below, so you guys can try it if you want. And obviously, you'll see the answers here. So if you want to pause the video and go try it yourself, feel free to. But we're gonna get into this quiz about the ACC tournament. All right, question number one: which charter member of the Atlantic Coast Conference won the very first ACC tournament in 1954? Now, I'm pretty sure UNC didn't win this year, and Duke wasn't necessarily a great school until Coach K came along. So immediately want to go to NC State and Wake Forest. I'm going to go NC State. NC State historically has been a pretty solid school, especially a long time ago. Number two, the 1957 ACC tournament was part of an amazing season for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Hey. En route to the national championship, which team did the Heels not face when they played in that year's ACC tournament? Clemson, South Carolina, Wake Forest, or Virginia? This one's a little tougher. I don't have much of a process of elimination to go by because I'm just kind of taking a shot in the dark on this one. So I am going to go with Virginia. That is going to be my pick. All right, number three. The South Carolina Gamecocks won the 1971 ACC Tournament title, defeating North Carolina 52-51 in Greensboro, North Carolina. Which of the following statements about this win is false? Okay, Frank McGuire became the first coach to win the ACC championship with two different schools. This was the first of three that South Carolina won. South Carolina was the number 2 seed, and they won the championship on a last-second layup. Which one is false? I want to leave the last second in. And I want to leave the fact that they were the 2 seed in. So I'm thinking that it's either Frank McGuire was the first to win one with 2 different schools, or this is the first of 3. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to pick this one. And the reason why is these two are so very specific that it almost just seems kind of crazy that they would just make that up. Although I guess it could be the first of 2 championships or 4. I'm not entirely sure, but my guess is going to be that they were the number 2 seed. That is false. The 1974 ACC Tournament Championship game became the highest scoring championship in the tournament's history. In fact, it was the first in which each team scored at least 100 points, what was the final result of that game? 74. All right, Duke and UNC, NC State, Maryland, Wake Forest, Virginia, UNC, Clemson. I want to say NC State defeated Maryland. That is my pick. I don't recall Duke being very good in the 70s, and I don't recall I don't recall UNC facing Clemson in an ACC championship. Now, of course, I'm gonna look goofy if I'm totally off on this, but my pick is NC State defeating Maryland 103-100. Okay, in 1976, the ACC tournament was held outside North Carolina for the first time. What city had the honor of hosting the tournament that year? I'm going to say Richmond, Virginia. That will be my pick. Landover, Maryland. I can't think of any schools or even really buildings that would have been there at the time. Atlanta, Georgia, I guess it could have been Atlanta, and I don't think it would have been Greenville. So I would have picked either between Richmond or Atlanta, but Richmond's my choice. 6. NC State stole the spotlight at the 1983 ACC Tournament, defying the odds and winning the championship en route to an incredible national championship run. Which team did the Cardiac Pack defeat to secure the ACC crown that year? 1983. I'm going to go with North Carolina. That should have been right about the time that they were starting to really build a very solid team, and that would have been right about that time that they should have had some pretty solid players on the team. So I would say that if there was a defying odd, they probably beat UNC. Home cooking was good to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in '85. Home cooking was pretty good for FSU tonight too. They had the refs pretty well in their back pocket. Anyway, when they won their first ACC tournament title on the floor of the Omni in Atlanta, which player from Georgia Tech, who went on to become a consistent scorer and playmaker in the NBA, won MVP honors at that tournament? Which Georgia Tech player in the mid '80s? Georgia Tech player in the mid '80s. Well, being the NBA fan that I am, I would logically come down to Mark Price and Dennis Scott because those are the only two names out of these four that I remember. I'm going to pick Price. When Virginia, AC charter member of the ACC, founded in '53, won their first ACC title in 1976, Clemson Tigers were the only charter member without a win. Clemson. Were they a charter member? These are the things that I don't like about true or false questions because there literally could be anything wrong with this. But I got a 50-50 shot, so let's see. They were the only charter member without a win, Clemson. I am going to say true. Okay, last two. And my screen will not scroll up any further, so you're just going to have to trust me on question number 10. 3 of these 4 players were named the ACC Tournament Most Valuable Player award twice. Which of the following players did not win the award twice? Len Chappell, Tommy Burleson, Larry Miller, or Jim... Oh, come on, dude. Really? Spanarkel won the award twice. Which of the following did not win the award twice? Oh. I'm going to go with Jim. Okay, and then the last question, and you probably can't see the first part of it. It says in 2009, Duke won their 17th ACC title, equaling the 17 titles won by North Carolina. Which team was the first to win 18 titles? And then it says to answer D for Duke or NC for North Carolina. My answer is D. It says 2009, Duke would have beat Georgia Tech. I believe that was when Derek Favors was there. In 2008 was when UNC won. And then the only other championship UNC won in the ACC would have been 2016. 2016, they made plenty of them, but 2016 was the last ACC championship that UNC has won since 2009, and I know that Duke has won like 3 ACC tournaments since then, I believe. So my answer is going to be D for Duke, and I'm going to submit my answers. Okay, started off pretty good. So I got the first answer right. The answer was NC State. Answer number 2 is Virginia. So starting off pretty good. Number 3, South Carolina was the number 2 seed in the ACC tournament. The correct answer was this was the first of 3. Oh, well, that's cheap. Okay. All right, I got number 4 right. NC State defeated Maryland 103-100. Number 5, the answer was Landover, Maryland. See, now I look stupid because I said that there was nothing in Landover, Maryland. I'm originally from Maryland, so you would think that I would know, but apparently I don't. So, Landover, Maryland was the correct answer. And let's see, not even half of people have got this run right, so not too bad. Number 6, the correct answer was Virginia. I answered North Carolina, so that makes sense. Virginia has also been a pretty solid team over time. Number 7, Mark Price. Hey, I did get that one right. That was a little bit of a shot in the dark, but Mark Price was probably the best NBA scorer out of all 4 of those guys and the most recognizable name, I would say. So that made a little bit of sense. Number 8, that answer was true. Clemson does not strike me as a very historically solid team, basketball-wise. They're in terms of the ACC, I would commonly think of Duke, North Carolina, NC State, Virginia as being really the solid teams of the ACC, historically speaking. And then also Maryland. Of course, Maryland's not in the conference anymore. And then number 9, I did get that right. That was Jim Spanky. That he was the correct answer for number 9. And then obviously number 10, the answer was Duke, and I was right that they were the correct answer here. So looking back at the answer, 63% got number 10 right. Less than half got number 9 right. Most people got this answer right and guessing that it was true. 66%, 52%. So Virginia probably would have been my next choice for that one. 49% for this one, and 57%. So for most of these, not necessarily, apparently most people get at least half of these right. So 70% passing grade, I scored 105 points. The average score for this is 6 out of 10, so I was above average on this test. But this is the ACC Tournament test. Let's see about the ACC Player of the Year test. Same thing for the tournament test. We are going to put these tests all in the comments below. So you can check the description, put your answers, not your answers, but put your results in the comments, and let us know what you got. I was voted ACC Player of the Year in 1954. Who am I? 1954. Well, since none of these names are actually familiar to me, I'm going to guess Ronnie Shavlik. You know, when in doubt, go 2 or 3. Okay, number 2. Who was voted the ACC Player of the Year in 1964? I'm only like 25, so I'm going to go Billy Cunningham. Which one of these players was named ACC Player of the Year in 1974? They're really getting me with these older years. I'm going to go David Thompson. Okay, number 4. Who won the award for ACC Player of the Year in 1984? That should be... Now they're really challenging me. It would have either been Sam Perkins or Michael Jordan, I think. 84. I'm going to go Sam Perkins. I was voted the ACC Player of the Year in 1994, so the mid-90s. I'm going to go I think Grant Hill was already... I don't think Grant Hill was playing for Duke at the time. I'm going to go Joe Smith. That seems like a very generic name. He probably just threw that in there to make fun of people like me that don't know any better. Okay, which of these players won the ACC Player of the Year award in 55? Who we pick for 54? Ronnie Shavlik. All right, Ronnie, don't let me down. Number 7, who was voted in 1965 the Player of the Year? What is this guy's fetish with these players from the 50s and 60s? Billy Cunningham I picked for number 2. Going by the same logic, I'm going to pick him again. Alright, I won ACC Player of the Year award unanimously in 1975. Who am I? 1975. Let's see. I'm trying to remember who would have been good in the NBA in the late 70s to early 80s. Don't make fun of me. Ralph Sampson. All right, number 9. Which of these players won the 1985 ACC Player of the Year award? And I'm going to go 85. I'm going to go with Len Bias. And then number 10, which of these players was named ACC Player of the Year in 1995? Tim Duncan, Joe Smith, Rasheed Wallace, or Jerry Stackhouse. And I believe 1995, I'm thinking either Jerry Stackhouse or Tim Duncan. We'll go with the big fundamental. I'm picking Tim Duncan. Oh. Okay. Dickie Hemrick. Yeah, how did I not know about the great Dickie Hemrick? Dickie Hemrick was the answer to number 1. Number 2 was Jeff Mullins. 3 was David Thompson. I did actually get that one right. 4 was Michael. Of course, everybody's going to clown me because I'm a UNC fan and I picked Sam Perkins. You all saw it was between Perkins and Jordan. Correct answer was Grant Hill for 94. Dickie Hemrick. Also, so I guess I kept the same logic. I just picked the wrong guy with a ridiculous name. Billy Cunningham did win in 65. David Thompson won in 75. Len Bias won in 85. And then Joe Smith won in 1995. The average score for this quiz is 5 out of 10. Well, yeah, because you're asking everybody about people from like 60 years ago. Okay. I wonder why this guy didn't have anybody within like the last, 26 years. Anyway, my score is 3 out of 10.
Stupid.
Most people got 5 out of 10. Alright, and then the last is ACC Hoops Quiz. Just like the other ones, this one will be in the description. What University of North Carolina player left the Tar Heels in 78 as our all-time assists leader? 1978, I'm going to pick Phil Ford. Who coached the North Carolina State Wolfpack to the 74 championship? I don't have the slightest clue. I'm going to pick Norm Sloan. He sounds like a slimy Wolfpack coach name. All right, which Duke Blue Devil did not play for the 78 tournament finalists? Well, we already know from the previous test that this Spanky guy, he was pretty good. So I'm going to go with Mark, who preceded Dave Odom as coach of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I feel like I already saw Mark Klein listed somewhere else. I'm going to go Bob Stack. For which school did NBA forward Charles Buck Williams play collegiately? Buck Williams, I'm going to go with Virginia. Which Clemson University guard also played quarterback? I'm not quite sure. going to go with quarterback. I'm going to go with Terrell McIntyre. Okay, former Georgia Tech coach Bobby Cremins played at which university? South Carolina. University of Virginia's Ralph Sampson attended high school in which... Okay, now who would know that? I'm going to go Richmond. You know what, I'll change that. I'll make it Norfolk. Florida State guard Charlie Ward won the Heisman in what year? 92, 90, not really, 93. Okay, and who scored the game-winning basket for the NC State Wolfpack in the 1983 championship game? Sidney Lowe. I am not very confident about this test. And mostly, I think my age is starting to show itself in these. I'm starting to get exposed. All right. So, Phil Ford was the correct answer for number 1. Number 2 was Norm Sloan. Number 3 was Mark Allaire. Holy crap. Number 4 was Bob Stack. I don't have any clue how I'm getting these right. Okay. Number 5 was Maryland. 6 was Mike Epley. See, that would have been my next choice, because Mike Epley, that just sounds like a guy that would have been like a dual sport athlete. All right, 7 was South Carolina. 8 was Harrisonburg. 9 was 93. And 10 was Lorenzo Charles. All right, so I was 6 out of 10. The average score for this quiz is 5 out of 10, and I scored a whopping 90 points. So it's pretty interesting. Just a little fun experiment. Obviously, you guys are feel free to play along if you want to test your scores against mine. No cheating.
Not in my house.
No cheating, but make sure you compare your test results to mine and see how well you did compared. But just a fun thing to do. We're going to be doing some more of these, maybe some reactions, and keep an eye out Sunday. We are going to be doing our tournament picks for the NCAA tournament. We're going to have the entire field up on here, so you guys will be able to see everything going on and see what my picks are, my reasoning behind it. Hopefully we have a really solid tournament this year. Unfortunately, we all didn't get to see one last year. And hopefully for all the players from Virginia Tech and Duke, I'm not a Virginia Tech fan, I'm not a Duke fan, but I do feel bad for those guys because they did put a lot of work in this season. And Duke, at the very least, was probably going to be in the NIT. They weren't going to win the ACC tournament, but they probably would have been in the NIT. Virginia obviously was an at-large bid even if they didn't win the tournament. So, unfortunately, for Virginia, I'm not even sure. I don't think that they're even going to be able to play. I think their season's done. Same thing for Duke. So, unfortunately for those guys, I feel bad for them. But we have an exciting month of basketball ahead of us. It's already started. So, keep a look out on the channel. This is part of our expansion into not only doing Madden, but also doing more content related to NCAA basketball, NBA. So we're going to be doing so many different things on the channel than just Madden rebuilds. So keep a look out at that. Can't even talk. Keep an eye out for all of that content. And just as always, every time you leave a like, a comment, that helps us just continue to improve in the Google algorithms. And then the last thing that you all can do and really help me out is subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 10 subscribers. That is our first goal. Once we reach 10, it's going to be on the road to 50. And I'm going to continue to try to put out good and entertaining content for you guys. But that's it for this one. We'll see you on the next one.